I'm calling this meeting to order. This is a Redmond City Council special meeting held on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, commencing at 6:30 p.m. Council members in attendance are Council President Kritzer, Council Vice President Forsyth, Council Member Stewart, and online we have Council Member Fields. This special meeting is being held as a joint meeting with the Redmond Arts and Culture Commission. Chris Weber, Cultural Arts Supervisor, will introduce this item. Chris.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. The Redmond Arts and Culture Commission is a mayor-appointed, council-confirmed advisory commission. They advise the city on arts policies and programs. And I won't say more than that because they have all the pertinent information in their speaking points.
Thank you, Mayor Burney and City Council, for this opportunity to present the Commission's work over the past year and for us to discuss future work and priorities. The Commission consists of 9 commissioners plus 1 youth advocate. They will each introduce themselves, beginning with our chair, me, Kathy O'Keefe. I've been on for 2.5 years.
I'm Pamela Waters. I've been in the commission for about 1.5 years.
This is Commissioner Minka Soni. I've been in Arts Commission for over 5 years now.
My name is Victoria Liefman-Frankel. I'm the Commissioner of Arts and Culture, and I've been here for about six months.
Good evening, Anna Zanella on the commission for about 5 years.
And I just wanted to jump in really quick. A few of our commissioners weren't able to make it tonight. And then also on the slide, we have our youth advocate, Arya Nair, who recently rolled off on the commission to attend college, but we wanted to keep her on the slide to honor her work over the past 2 years.
And with this, we start our presentation, which is broken into sections. First is a sharing of our vision, followed by a rundown of our successes, and then a list of our priorities. Ending with a discussion and a chance for questions and conversation around arts and culture. The Arts and Culture Commission works with the cultural arts staff year-round to fulfill the Commission's mission and vision for the community. Our mission is be a catalyst for Redmond's diverse and inventive community. Our vision, create a community inspired and connected by arts and culture. And in addition, we as commissioners share a main value to build a vibrant community through arts and culture that celebrates our diversity and promotes equitable opportunities. Next, we wanted to visually share the areas of Redmond where art and cultural events have been programmed over the past year and showcasing our reach within the community, highlighting the areas where we need to focus our efforts in the future.
I am honored to share with you some of our successes since we last met in September of 2024. The Commission was involved in selecting and reviewing in the selection and review of city projects, including a number of commissioned permanent public artworks. New integrated sculptures on 152nd Avenue in Overlake were installed in January. We had artists working with community, including Poet Laureate Chini Chen, who launched their large-scale project, Read Local, Eat Local, partnering with local restaurants to share community-created poems. Our community art rotating exhibits programs showcase close to 100 2D visual artists in the Redmond Senior Community Center. We support signature events by adding art components to Derby Days and Redmond Lights. And we just hosted the 3rd annual Downtown Redmond Art Walk. Plus our training programs that support local artists and grant programs supporting organizations. In 2025, those operating support grants had 12 applicants, and grants were awarded to 10 organizations for a total of $15,000. These awards are unrestricted support grants for eligible Redmond-based organizations with annual budgets of less than $500,000, whose missions serve the community through access to arts, arts education, and cultural heritage experiences. This program is intended to assist with the attraction and retention of arts and culture organizations. The Commission also works on selection and review of external projects in the city, including sound transit and privately developed public art. Past commissioners were on art selection panels for sound transit and the 4 Redmond stations. We also review and approve privately developed public art projects, including those who are adding art to fulfill a blank wall or gateway requirement, or those adding art to gain extra square footage in the Marymore Village neighborhood where art incentives are offered, or just voluntarily to add vibrancy to their buildings.
We will now highlight 4 current priorities. First priority, cultural inclusion and outreach. The Arts and Culture Commission was instrumental in pushing forward the 2017 Cultural Inclusion Resolution and continues to campaign connecting our diverse communities, providing a sense of belonging, allowing for cultural expression, fostering mutual respect, and building empathy. We stand committed to provide equitable opportunities while hosting art and performances that reflect the city's diverse population. The second priority is public art funding. The City Council adopted the Public Art Plan in 2017, which recommended updating the 1991 Public Art Ordinance 1640 to increase the funding for public art investments and broaden the types of investments eligible to receive public art funding. Staff had been working in parallel with our public art master planning efforts with the goal of bringing updated recommendations to Council that will provide increased and predictable funding for public art in Redmond. A third ongoing priority is the artist pipeline. Our ongoing efforts to retain, attract, and provide opportunities for the artists and arts organizations to grow and become more stable and successful. This includes our operational support grants that funds Redmond-based arts organizations. And for individuals, we have been building the artist pipeline to help artists from historically underrepresented communities and all emerging artists increase their skills and build up their resumes. This begins by training the next generation of public artists through the Public Art Intensive Eastside workshops and by providing lower barrier opportunities such as the asphalt art and temporary public art calls, allowing emerging artists to gain experience while building their portfolio. And it has been working. We have seen a steep increase in local artists applying, and the last 3 years of Redmond Lights calls have seen an alumni from Public Arts Intensive Eastside make up more than half of the applicants and selected artists.
Which brings us to the Public Art Master Plan. We are excited to collaborate with the staff and the consultants, MIG, to update the Public Art Master Plan. The objective of this project is to provide clarity on how best to achieve city priorities and opportunities in Redmond as they relate to cultural arts. At a high level, the city seeks to produce a public art master plan that is concise and easy to understand, includes a succinct annual action plan with tangible performance measures, and reflects the findings of our robust community engagement efforts to fulfill the needs and wants of those living in our diverse city. Thank you for your time. We are excited for any questions on the presentation or thoughts you may have on the importance of arts in our community.
Well, thank you all so very much. I was just reflecting as you were sharing, though power-packed all of the work that you've been doing. I really much appreciate you mentioning the light rail stations, which I know our community is enjoying taking the train, but the artwork that had been selected over the years for that is really quite phenomenal. So I so appreciate, I know not all of you were on the commission at the time when those came through, but in particular, Downtown Station, the panels are just really, really beautiful. And if the community hasn't taken a look at both sides, they tell a story depending on which way you are walking toward or around the station. Really quite lovely, as well as the use of the senior community center space, the walls, and the development of new artists. You guys are just so powerful in your small but mighty commission, and the impact on our community has just been tremendous. So I know I'm going to open up to questions for the council, but I just really wanted to share that with all of you, how what great strides you've made in bringing so much more developed culture to our community. So thank you. Council President.
Thank you. Well, you covered some things I was hoping to say, but I will say it's so wonderful to be able to hear from all of you and be able to meet jointly and recognize your incredible work. I think a lot of people in the city don't realize how much work you all as, volunteer commissioners put in to bring your unique perspectives and each of your own artistic backgrounds and integrity into making sure that we can have a really vibrant community. And we do see it, and now just throughout our built environment and through even, so much of the different events that go on. The Downtown Redmond Art Walk, I know, was an initiative from the Arts and Culture Commission, and it was so wonderful this last week to just see people out enjoying it, and so many different types of art celebrated, from the spoken word to visual arts. One question that I had, you mentioned a little bit about the work on funding sources. So I was curious if you can share a little bit more. I know that you all were going to be looking into whether we should increase the 1% for the arts, and just curious if you can share more about how those conversations have gone and any of the plans. If this is a question for staff, I can ask one more for the commissioners, but if you can answer that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's a staff question, and we'll really that ordinance, and I think we've mentioned it before, the ordinance is just old and a little bit vague in certain ways, and so really we're just trying to make sure that there's a consistency and a way to plan for the future. And so we have some beginning things that we want to share with you, but I think we're going to, if okay, we're start that in November when we've had a more chance to work with our finance team, so that we're better prepared. And then we'll get feedback from you and then bring it back probably in that February meeting as well.
Wonderful. Well, I'll just make the point here that I know our council has talked about this and really been looking forward to the recommendation coming back from you all. So just so you know, you're going to be, playing this kind of vital role as part of this conversation and interest in being able to add even more support for the arts in our community. So look forward to hearing your insights on how we advance on that. And I will pause so that others can ask questions.
Great, thank you. And I want to mention that Councilmember Anderson has joined us as well. Council Vice President Forsyth.
Thank you, and thanks for all you do. If there was one commission that I would serve on, it would probably be this one, so I really appreciate all the work that you all do. Really interesting, the map that was provided about current and in-progress events. I'm going to take this as a scavenger hunt, so I'm excited to go and see what's out in the watershed. I don't think I've ever seen the art that's out there, so that's very exciting. But just curious on each of your individual levels, what has been one of the things that you've been excited to see in your time serving, or something that you're excited to try to implement?
Do you want to start with you, Anna?
Sure. One thing that I saw happen was the Redmond Art Walk, and it was amazing to see it put together from scratch. Another thing that really excited me was the Senior and Community Center and how they took our input, and we worked with the artists to make it happen, the walls that we talked about, and we oversaw all the art that went on the wall. They literally took our input even for the creation of some of it. And then where I would like to see more happening is performing arts with spaces, which I hope the Senior and Community Center will allow for some of that, which they already started, but it's still young, so.
I want to agree that the Redmond Art Walk as well as the Redmond Lights are amazing because it brings together local talent and everyone is so different and unique, and it's just amazing to see that through the installations. In terms of what I would like to see, because I personally work with children, I teach children, it would be great to see more opportunities for children, maybe elementary schools, middle schools, and possibly high schools. I know that the Redmond the Community Seniors Center, they do some things with children, but I think as the program expands, I think that we will probably see more and more opportunities.
I've been really excited to be here during the time that the rotating art exhibit came to be, and watching it go up every 3 months in that beautiful new building. It's got just an absolutely gorgeous space with all the natural light that comes in. I visit it very often whenever it changes with friends and family to show them what's going on. And I think generally I've had a piece in it, so I haven't been able to be on the jury, but I think I'm going to switch and take some time to be on the jury because it's really fun to see everything that's coming in and be a part of sort of funneling what comes and shows up for the next 3 months. So, and I think I'd agree with Anna Zanella, Commissioner Zanella, that performance and spoken word is probably something it would be good to see more of.
I don't want to repeat what everybody already said, but I think it is really big that we have the walls as a kind of like a starter opportunity for artists, because it's so much easier for someone that's never done anything to not be intimidated to just submit, 1 or 2 pieces. And it's huge for those people to then have them displayed for the first time, and and it doesn't cost anything. It's great. It's just mind blowing, and and then they can move on to more opportunities that we offer, and I think that is, if there are more opportunities like that in the future of different things, that would also be something I would like to see happen.
Well, in my last 5 years, I have seen multiple things happening, and Senior Center, right from demolition to, coming back again with all the art pieces, the sound transit station. I've been in the panel for selection of a couple of these art pieces as well. So, when these art pieces are coming, it's truly difficult for us to, pick up few, because they all represent a different form of an art. So I definitely think this is bringing more artists to our city of Redmond. What I want to see is more integration of STEM within arts, collaboration with this, and and definitely a performing arts center, which we are still missing. So bringing some of those things in Redmond together will enhance our arts and cultural presence in the city of Redmond. Thank you.
Great. Thank you all so much. Councilmember Stewart.
Well, thank you all for sharing, and to my colleague for the question. Your vision to create a community inspired and connected by arts and culture, I just want to reiterate that was so alive last Thursday night in the park. One of the things that folks came up to me to say was, why is it closing so early? And I was like, well, it's also, some schools have curriculum night tonight, and the sun is literally setting, but I heard a lot of interest in more events like that and longer events and things like that. So the community was inspired and connected and wanted to continue enjoying it. So thank you and congratulations. One thing I'll just offer all of you, actually, I know, and it sounds from the conversation tonight, that so many of you are artists yourselves and you are involved in a lot of organizations locally in the arts world. It was awesome to see so much time and attention given to spoken word artists last Thursday night as well. That was amazing. I just want you to know that earlier tonight, the council, we looked at a second draft of something that's called the Community Event Innovation Fund. It's a pilot that the council sponsored in the last budget. And the point is to help small organizations, including arts organizations, put on more events in 2026. And so we have some funding that is going to become available. So I'll just ask the staff, when those documents are finalized and ready to go, it'd be really helpful if this group of people could get the announcement from that. One of the things that staff shared tonight is, because this is a pilot, all the qualifying applications that are received by the city will receive some amount of funding within the stated range. So again, staff can provide more information when that funding is available, but please do consider yourselves advocates and champions of those dollars and help us reach folks who want to put on awesome events next year. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, I just wanted to express my support for enhancing, growing, envisioning performing arts or more performing arts in Redmond. I know that the LTAC committee is recommending some funds for an event that is performing art. And I also recognize, similar to what Councilmember Stewart was just describing, is that in order to do this, it's somewhat of a collaborative and effort by a lot of different groups, including City Council, to create that vision, create that strategic plan, create those funding sources. So I just want to express my appreciation for you all and improving our performing arts opportunities in Redmond.
Thank you. Are there any more questions or comments from Council President?
I'll just ask one more question, and whoever wants to answer can. We also talked earlier today about the public art plan update, and I know you all mentioned it, that's going to be a big piece of work. I'm curious, as you go into looking at that, and it sounds like we'll be going out to community to gather input, and you look at the built environment around Redmond and how we're growing, where do you see as some kinds of big opportunities for us to be able to look at new approaches around public art?
One thing that I don't have a specific spot, but one thing that I gave in my personal interview with the firm that is doing this is to try and leverage as much as possible things that are already out there and that need beautifying, or that could use some highlight, even park benches or walls that we can use, or wrapping utility boxes. But instead of concentrating on creating something from scratch, why don't we leverage surfaces that we have? It makes it for an easier logistics sometimes, because you don't have to work around the space, but it's already there. So asphalt art and things like that.
A couple of actual spots that I also talked in my interview about were the skate park, because it's a difficult spot, I think, because of the transit that is right there. But I think making it more putting more art there and stuff would make it feel more friendly and safe for people. And then the area close to the Marymore station seems like a big opportunity place there. There's, all those, yeah. So I was excited to, think about crazy plans for there. But hopefully, something comes up. And I know there's some ideas already, so. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you all so very much. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm just so thrilled that you're willing to devote your time to the city of Redmond in the way that you do, and it has great impact. And I hope you can appreciate the effort that you've put into it, and I know our community does. Makes it much brighter, more vibrant, reaching your goals of the committee itself. So thank you so much again. Thank you to the council for the great questions. And with that, we are adjourned.
And your